Coming to you live from the Ever Media Studios in Los Angeles, this is EverTalk Live.
Woo!
Yeah! Happy Thursday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jezza Moye. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you live from Los Angeles, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. for a little happiness in Hollywood, pop culture and positivity. Happy Thursday,
Happy Thursday.
Rob.
And what a day. It's so beautiful outside. The sun shines back out. I feel like a brand new person.
This is what we moved to LA for.
Yes.
Now, granted, I am very grateful for the rain, but I am even more grateful for the sunshine.
I know, I love the sunshine. Do need the rain, appreciate the rain, but my goodness, it's nice to have light.
Literally, when people ask me, oh, what brings you to Los Angeles? I say, sunshine and the dream.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
Always. We had an incredible night last night.
We sure did, boy. Craig's. Love
Craig's. Of course, we went to Craig's to celebrate our 2-year work anniversary. That's right, 2 years as a team together, and we were there. And they had Moye Rosé on the menu.
Right?
It was so fun after 2 years and, you know, hundreds of episodes and thousands of guests to be able to celebrate with my rosé and all of you was so special. We had a great cake.
That cake was absolutely delicious, amazing. Not as delicious as the wine, but amazing. What a great
Thank
time.
you, Rob. What
There's
a great
Alex
time.
Shine.
Yeah,
And
special
Andy
thanks to Andy Waldman and your entire family, Andy Waldman and his incredible wife Felicia, for all of their support.
Yes.
Their generosity.
I love Craig's too, and every time we go there, we see somebody that we know in the business, right?
Of course we do.
Unbelievable.
Of course we do. Well, it was just so fun and really, really special. We've got some incredible guests this morning. Hello, everyone back in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Trisha Helfer is in the house. Good morning, Trisha.
Good morning.
Congratulations. Massive success on this season with Van Helsing. Everybody's loving it.
Thank you. No, I'm having a blast with it.
So we want to know, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine like?
I would love to say it was meditation and a long swim, but unfortunately it's cat treats, scooping cat litter and getting a bunch of cats fed before anything for myself.
Go right in and get those hands dirty first thing in the morning. There you go.
Well, we appreciate you keeping it 100 with us today,
Indeed.
Trisha. Aaron Woolf is in the house. He is an actor, director, and of course, friend of ours from Craig's.
Yes,
Good
he is.
morning, Aaron.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Mornings. Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, mornings.
Mornings.
Especially when we have last night at Craig's. I feel ya. So how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your routine like?
Caffeine. I wake up, my alarm goes off, I get mad at it, we have a little quarrel, and then I have caffeine, and then I feel better.
Nothing like caffeine for a little medicine.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm ready to go for the day.
Well, thank you for being with us today. Christian Adam is with us. We are so excited to talk to you about Richard Jewell, your new film with Olivia Wilde. Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your routine like?
Well, first I wake up, I rise with the sun. I hold on to my dreams the best I can. I spend a few moments in existential dread, and then I have my caffeine, and then I'm all better. Yeah.
Caffeine shares.
Caffeine fixes everything.
All right, I love those glasses of yours, by the way. Very cool.
Good morning. We have the creative team behind an Oscar-eligible short film, 9 Steps. How are you today?
Hi, good morning.
Good
I'm happy to be
morning.
here.
So how do you start your day? What's your favorite thing to do in the morning?
Well, unfortunately, I'm also an addict to caffeine, so I just cry a little and ask Moises for a cup of coffee. So he just give me my coffee, and I just felt happy.
Moreover, we have jet lag because 2 days ago we were in Spain. So we took a flight just 24 hours ago. So we are kind of sleepy. But we are great, thank you.
All right.
Well, I can't hear much of that, but one thing's for sure.
Yes.
I heard coffee.
Coffee
all around. Well, thank you everyone for being with us today. We look forward to continuing the conversation later in the show.
I feel like I am in the wrong business, man. Coffee is the business to be in. Clearly, who doesn't drink coffee?
I do. My cup is always half full. You know me.
Yes.
French roast until I rosé.
Right. Wow, Jess. How you feeling? New wine is out. You feeling good about that?
I'm so excited. It's almost available online for sale. Last night we were in Beverly Hills. We had a great time at Nancy Davis's event, Shop for the Race to Erase MS. Her daughter is launching her new line, Basic Extra. That's right. It's basic, but it's extra.
Oh, I like that.
How fun is that? She's a young, budding entrepreneur, of course, just like her incredible family. Loyal.
Love that. You got a little updo? What was going on there? What did I see there?
You saw a lot of things. Yes. Great jacket. I mean,
wow.
I love that community. They were so grateful. LaToya Jackson was there.
Yeah.
Pizza Girl, of course.
Pizza Girl.
And of course, Barbara
right.
Davis, the living legend that
gosh.
she is.
She is a living legend. I still haven't met her in person, but I definitely need to. I've heard so many great things.
Oh,
She's so sweet.
absolutely. One of the sweetest. Okay, so Rob.
Yes.
Holiday time.
Holiday time. First of all, I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to kill me because I am such really a homebody when I'm not working. And Vegas, and then last night it wasn't like any of it's been that crazy. It's just that I suddenly realized that like in the last, 72 hours, I probably slept like 6 hours, 7 hours.
You're doing
total.
Good.
Yeah, any second I'm gonna just fall over.
Oh,
but yeah.
no.
Anyway, but it's been amazing week, right? I mean,
An amazing week,
Yeah.
Incredible events. Speaking of which, I'll be out again tonight.
Yes.
So if anyone is in West Hollywood, we're honoring Ron Robinson and really making sure that his last days at Ron Robinson and Fred Siegel right there on Melrose are celebrated. So we'll be pouring Moët Rosé.
Love that. He's literally putting a bow on the business, right?
Oh, he really is. And I mean, that man is truly responsible for like pop culture, LA iconic lifestyle for decades.
And you know what's great about Ron, in addition to him just being so, of course, intelligent, accomplished, and fashionable, is that he's such a genuinely nice guy.
Oh, the nicest.
Like, I mean, you made him in person, you feel instantly that he's just so likable.
Oh, they don't call him the curator cool.
Right, indeed.
Curator of cool for nothing.
Yes, exactly. So you've got the Ron Robinson event.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
awesome.
With Moët Rosé. So if you are in the area and you want to raise a glass with me, I would love to see you.
Awesome, Jess. Boy,
Speaking of which,
how do you do it?
I'm a Gemini. it's just
incredible.
what we do.
Yeah.
I know. So I was really excited because recently in the news, many of you might have seen that Sarah Jessica Parker launched her own line as well. So we were sure to get a bottle because I am in very good company where I'm having a Carrie Bradshaw moment when I had my rosé and the Sauv Blanc by Sarah Jessica Parker. It's really cool.
In order to be someone, you need to have your own wine or liquor or something. Something.
I don't know.
Right?
But thank you, George Clooney, for inspiring me. I'll raise you a rosé.
That's fantastic, Jess. Boy, I just don't have my own wine. I feel like I just need to level up a little bit here.
No, you're working on your book, Peace from the Inside Out.
Man.
Coming to you in 2020 and coming right back. Stay tuned with more on EverTalk Live. Stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
all I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
We look good. No, you look good. All of us. We are so hot and humble. You know me, I gotta follow the light. Yeah, girl. It's all about that light. I saw that light over there. I said, this must be my light. What are we doing? You laugh, you story. Our producer's messing up the set. Security.
Thank you. That was awesome. I was like, are we going into infomercial already? Where's the 1-800 number? I don't know how you. We need to have these bloopers. Well, there you have it. Yes. You guys can binge watch all of our episodes on upgradeyourlifetv.com and on the EverTalk app. Bye, guys. Bye.
EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to EverTalk Live. We are here with TV and film icon Trisha Helfer is in the house, having a fantastic fall on Sci-Fi's Van Helsing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a lot of fun.
What's your favorite part of this series? I mean,
well, I'm new to this series this year, so and I'm fairly light in the season. I think it's setting me up for a potential,
rumor has
baddie
it.
for next season. I'm playing Dracula. So as far as I know, I'm the first female Dracula. I could be wrong, so if you search and find it somewhere, but I've been told that, and that's pretty amazing to be able to do.
So how do you prepare for a role like Dracula, especially when you're the first female playing it?
Well, the show is, Van Helsing is based off, the reincarnation that they've done it's based off Vanessa Van Helsing is the lead, vampire hunter. And so it's already a very female-centric show. And this year they have introduced her daughters, Jack and Violet. And they were all kind of made in a lab, so it's, but they've got a bit of the Dark One, Dracula's blood in them. So it's a little bit different take, but it's already a very female centric, very female powerful show. So it kind of made sense. It wasn't off the cuff that Dracula would be female,
Did you grow up watching this genre or not really?
I grew up without a television.
Really?
Yes.
How did you decide to become?
I grew up on a farm. I have very, very, very few movies because the closest movie theater was, miles and miles and miles away. So I joke a lot because I don't have the same pop culture references. Yeah. And a lot of times the director will say, I'm thinking of some, like, such and such for this scene, and it just goes over my head.
So your friends you cannot be the phone a friend. And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? For pop culture, you will definitely
I am
lose
the
money.
worst in that, completely the worst.
Well, I know you had such a history in fashion, but then what really inspired you to get into film and television?
Well, I think, even in the modeling, I would have never got into it on my own. I was discovered, as they say, right, by a modeling scout. And I had a wonderful career, but it just got to that place where I wanted to be more involved. I wanted to use my mind more. And in school, I had been interested in psychology. I probably would have become a psychologist. And so I got into an acting class kind of just to see what it would be like. I'd stopped doing fashion shows, so I had a little more time. And instantly, I fell in love with it. And I think that's what draws me to it, is getting into the character, getting into the mind of the character and figuring out what makes this person tick, what makes them individual. So that's what the draw is to me.
Was it tough making that transition? I have friends, we both have friends sort of in the modeling business that want to make the transition, or maybe they have, to acting. But it can be a little bit difficult, particularly if you're killing it in the modeling world. Was that difficult for you at all, or you just knew you were?
I think Now it's a little bit different. We're talking 17, 18, 19 years ago now that I made the transition. And it was at that point a little bit more you stay in your lane, right? You're a model, or you weren't taken seriously if you were trying to act, or you were the novelty, right? Now it's a little bit different because there's so many social platforms, and you've got actresses on magazine covers and doing endorsements, and so the lines bleed over a lot more, and I think it's easier for girls coming up now. I made the mental shift. I sold my apartment in New York, I quit modeling, and I moved to LA, and the biggest thing was actually getting your agents to take you seriously. And I didn't want to then say, okay, I'm jetting off to Paris for a fashion shoot when I had a call back for a film.
Yeah, they need you here.
Yeah, I really wanted to be here and be immersed in it and show that I was serious. And luckily for me, a year later I got Battlestar Galactica, and that just kind of changed my career and my projective.
I'm not gonna lie, the second she walked in, I wanted to say good morning, number 6.
I'm actually doing a podcast on it right now. I'm doing a rewatch of Battlestar Galactica with Sci-Fi Wire and Mark Bernardin called Battlestar Galacticast. And it's been so fun to go back after 15 years or whatever it is and revisit the show. And we do an episode by episode analysis, and we're about to start a 3rd season. So it's been fun to go back as a viewer this time.
And what about the fans though? Because they still are rabid, aren't they?
Well, the show really still translates to our time now. It doesn't look dated. We're still dealing with the same issues that we were dealing with on the show. We're not in space, mind you, but the show really is still extremely relevant, and I think that's why it's had legs and staying power.
Yeah. Speaking of timeless and legs and staying power, did you find that over those years since then that you've evolved a lot, sort of as an actor, as a professional, and just as a person? How have you changed? In what ways have you changed since then?
I would definitely say I'm more worldly, but I think at the core I'm the same person. I know my father had said to me when I first started modeling, if you're the same person in 10 years, I'll be proud of you. And almost 10 years to the day, I was home for a visit, and he took me aside and he's like, you've stayed true to who you are, and I'm proud of you. And of course, I started crying. And, so I do think ultimately I'm the same person, but yeah, more worldly, maybe a little bit more impatient.
More impatient.
More impatient, yes.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. But maybe a little bit more confident than I was then, But I still think a lot of the same things that made me happy then make me happy now.
I find that so interesting. We talk a lot about mindfulness on the show and authenticity, and that can be one of the hardest things to maintain is your authenticity and your integrity, especially in the world of fashion or film or television. Is there anything that you really did to make sure you did that? Is there a spiritual practice? Are you a meditator? What was that for you that kept you grounded?
I think, yeah, in both those professions, right, it can be a very glamorous, but it's also a lot of hard work. And to me, it was always business, right? And it was always about staying true to your friends. And, I think a lot of it has to do with growing up and having a support system. I had my family at home that were the same. They didn't care if I was on the cover of a magazine or not. I still went home and, helped my dad build a hay shed. So, I'm not particularly spiritual or anything. I'm trying to get into meditation, actually.
Me too.
Just downloaded Headspace or whatever. I'm trying. Yoga has helped a lot over the years. I think just trying to, for me, exercise, getting the kind of stress out and going for long hikes and getting on my motorbike and just taking off is kind of what helps clear the air for me. But also realizing it's a business. And life is what's important, and staying true to your friends, and because the job can be fleeting. The job has its ups and downs, and of course you want to succeed, and of course you want to feel like your projection is continuing to rise, but there are going to be ups and downs, and if you beat yourself up too much in the downs, you're not going to be ready for when that next opportunity comes.
That is such a powerful point, at least for me. I think so many people, they don't they want to build their confidence, but they have a lot of trouble doing it. And the less confidence they have, the more impatience they feel, and those things kind of work, against each other. But that hasn't been your experience. It's been different. You've built your confidence, but you also, I guess, maybe your expectations have also maybe ballooned a little. So how have you done that? How have you increased your confidence, while still sort of staying the path? And I don't know, like, how do you do that?
It's hard. I mean, even I've been fortunate to be working and continue to work, but I've had lulls, and that's when it really starts to hit at you and go, okay, what am I doing wrong, or is it outside of and a lot in the business is also outside of what you can even do. It's
completely
your look, or it's your age, or it's whatever. So I think it's also trying to build, like that's where the podcast came in. I was going through a slower time, and I'm like, okay, what else can I do? And this is something that is also within my wheelhouse and something I can, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's opening up another avenue. So I think it's staying busy, even if it's volunteering or doing something. But I find for myself, if I sit too much, then I start to,
you think?
That comes out,
and
it starts chipping away at your confidence and your self-worth and things like that. And
so what's next for you?
What's next? Starting the 3rd season of the podcast, and then hopefully some holiday plans. I do know I'm filming. I have a Hallmark Christmas movie coming out. Different genre, completely.
A good Hallmark movie.
I went from Creepshow and Van Helsing this year to from being decapitated on Creepshow and killing people on Van Helsing to just being all about Christmas spirit. So that's coming out on December 22nd. Yes, balance. And then I know I start shooting next February over in Europe for 5 weeks, but I cannot say what for yet.
Ooh. Well, where can people find and follow you so they can watch your journey?
My official Trisha Helfer is my Instagram, and True Trisha Helfer is my Twitter, and that's about the most that I get on.
That's enough. Well, thank you, Trisha. We appreciate you. Be sure to watch Hallmark December 22nd so you can see her on her new holiday film. Stay tuned. We'll be right back for more on EverTalk Live. Ways of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Hit me like a wall of cold water. I thought to myself, we're dying at the roots here. This campus is dying.
I used to go all the time to the temple with my family, and it seemed to be so relevant to them and to my grandparents. Something's different now. I don't know if it's a generational thing or what. I don't know if I get it.
How do you feel about what has happened and what is to come?
What an absolutely beautiful, epic journey. Thank you for being with us this morning, Aaron. Well, it's
great to be
so,
here.
Tell us a little bit about the genesis for this film, Restoring Tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. It started as just a glimmer of an idea. I was disconnected from my place, the Wilshire Boulevard Temple in Los Angeles, and my grandfather was a rabbi there. And then Rabbi Steve Leader, the rabbi there, he asked me, I'm an actor and a director, and he said, can you start chronicling, filming a little bit of stuff that we're doing here, that we're trying to do here to set an example. And that led, to make a long story short, it led to this film. And it led to me reconnecting. And then it led to the film being in 600-700 theaters last year, and now this Sunday I'm going to be live on PBS.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you, yeah. We're showing the film. I'm going to be co-hosting the show. And
so for you, I'm very curious, what did you learn not only about yourself, but about this generation when you were making this film?
What I learned, we're in a really divided time. And I'm going to be
That's obvious.
Yeah, that's obvious, exactly. And what I learned is the way to bring us together is to rise above the stuff that we're hearing on different news and whatever it might be that sets people apart, and rise above to join our communities, to join places that matter, to remember what made us full when we were 10, 11, 12. And then all of a sudden we go above that stuff and we're not yelling at each other and bickering at each other. We're coming together to go out and then make a difference in the community.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I love that, because I do think that a lot of times it's not about learning something new, it's just about unlearning what you've known in the past that just isn't true anymore, right? And so what kinds of things, have helped you sort of reconnect, of course but reconnect to your past and the things that uplifted you as a child?
Yeah, it reminds me of the core of who I am. And I also really enjoy how I've been able to go around and see other people see what I'm doing, or when I go speak to an audience, and they then want to go reconnect to theirs. And that uplifts me, and that makes me remember why I'm doing this and why maybe my grandfather gave me the messages that he did as a rabbi, so that I could then forget it for a while,
Yes.
go off and go to college and do what I was doing, and then come back to this moment. So it's like I'm coming back to my roots. And other people coming back to their roots because of this is beautiful. Every single time it gives me a little, one of those feelings, pits in my stomach, because I feel so good.
Oh, just love that. There's an expression somewhere, I think it's Rumiko, but basically, the deeper the roots, the taller the tree.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And so what ways has your life changed as a result of being more rooted and more grounded?
I wouldn't to say I'm more rooted and grounded. I'm human.
Yeah.
So I'm always all over the place doing my work, doing different films. But what it's done is taught me to appreciate the past and to, again, carry on this message to other people. So I appreciate what my grandfather came from Nazi Germany. And to get a little deep here, he came from Nazi Germany to this country, this free country. And now in this age when we're seeing the words Nazi and white supremacist and stuff come about again, it makes me think, wow, maybe this is why we're doing this, is to remind people we don't have to hate. We can embrace, we can come together, and we can love again.
There's still a lot of to heal.
Oh man, we're not, and this film isn't going to do it. But if we can make a small dent, then and that's why I'm excited about this Sunday, because we get to convey that message, and I'll tell more stories, and we get to keep this message alive, because I always say we rise above the hate to a place of hope. Do you like how I stumbled over the thing?
Yeah, no, it's great.
More coffee, rise above.
Yes, right, more caffeine.
So what else are you working on right now, Aaron?
Well, a couple cool things. Because of this and what happened with Restoring Tomorrow, we're doing a series based on Restoring Tomorrow called Restoring Your Tomorrow, about other people and other places that matter around the world. We did one at an HBCU in Atlanta, Morris Brown College. And it's also personal because we're also showing my journey back with the Woolsey fires. There was the camps my grandfather founded burned down. And so while we're going and helping restore other communities, we're also showing how the camps my grandfather founded in 1950, how I'm helping, and our journey to help restore those. So it's this, I call it like Anthony Bourdain meets This Is Us, because it's all full of emotion and travel.
For the heart.
Yes, it is.
And we're actually going to be showing, this is the first time I said this, we're going to be showing a little preview of the show Sunday night.
Oh, right.
After the movie.
Well, please remind everyone where they can watch on Sunday.
Yes, on this camera, right? On Sunday, you can watch on PBS, and just go to your local listings, and click on PBS and either record it or watch live. If you watch live, I'm going to be hosting, so I'll be answering questions. You can tweet at me at the Aaron Woolf during the show. You can tweet at me now too if you want.
Why did you
Might be a second before it gets back to you, but I promise.
Yeah, you can. But you can during the show, and I'll be answering questions live.
Awesome.
There's going to be one of those phone banks behind me.
Oh, wow.
And as a kid, I love
This
those.
is so PBS.
It is.
It's so PBS. So I'm probably going to answer some phone calls because I have to. It's just, it's going to be too fun.
So cool. Yeah.
Too fun.
That's awesome.
Talk about restoring your past.
Totally.
Answer that phone on PBS.
Exactly.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more at EverTalk Live.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Primed for a breakout year in 2020, we are here with rising star Christian Adam. Congratulations. We know you have a big premiere coming up. Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
You excited?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I mean I went to the premiere party last night. It was sick.
That's
it?
why
Yeah.
the glasses
Kinda
are
sick.
still on.
It was kind of sick.
It was sick.
What did that feel like?
Feel like, well, you know, it was. I'm not crazy about the business parties at the beginning. I mean, obviously it was cool seeing all the talented people, all the stars, seeing Clint Eastwood.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
living legend.
Living legend.
But the highlight was actually the movie itself. I mean, it was a really good movie.
We know you can't share much, but what can you tell us about the synopsis of the
Well,
film and the people you're working with?
It's funny because, I mean, it's a true story. If you really want to know what happens, you can just look up an article. But the movie itself was beyond entertaining. I mean, I'm from Atlanta. I know what happened. But seeing the movie, I'm not exaggerating here, okay? I was gripped. I was thrilled. I cried. I cried twice. Kathy Bates and Paul Walter Hauser both made me cry. They killed it. And I'm smelling awards.
Yeah.
Like, they really,
Me too.
they killed it dead.
Wow.
She's got a habit of doing that, Kathy Bates, if you remember Misery.
What was it like working with such an incredibly iconic cast of characters?
I mostly got to work with Paul Walter Hauser, playing Richard Jewell himself. But he was amazing to work with. He was really on point. He was constantly working with me and my gang of actors that were with me. He was, in between scenes, he was constantly coming over and talking to us and discussing how he can improve each take one after the other.
Wow.
Yeah, he was really on top of it.
Anything specific that you sort of learned that maybe was a theme that you would hear over and over again that sort of stuck with you?
Like from the message of the movie?
No, in terms of just
Or
the things that he would
the
share with
working.
you. Yeah, the work.
Well, you know, it's It's like things you already know as an actor,
Yeah,
but
just
it's
kinda
like
forget.
important, simple lessons that you relearn when you work with someone great, and you're like, you know, that really was important, what they told me in school.
Right.
Yeah.
Turns out, can use that math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're working really closely with the person who's right in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people get stuck in their own headspace. You know, they work on their own methods and their own techniques, and the most important thing is the person who you're actually in the scene with. And, you know, Paul, he knows that.
Yeah.
Isn't that an important lesson in life, though? The only thing that matters right now is this moment.
Oh, totally. It's great relationship advice too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me and you, we're all here together right now.
Right now.
And that's
super
what's
connected.
important.
It is. I know that you've got an incredible slate of projects coming up.
Oh, yeah.
What else are you working on?
I'm in Irresistible, coming out January 1st. It's a movie directed by Jon Stewart. Maybe you've heard of him.
Yes, a little bit, maybe.
Starring Steve Carell, Rose Byrne, Chris Cooper. There's a bunch of guys in there. It's about Steve Carell plays. I'm going to try and make it quick, you know, because I got a lot to cover. Steve Carell plays a Democratic political manager from D.C. who finds a diamond-in-the-rough veteran who he wants to make mayor, which you might think is small potatoes for him, but it becomes a nationally important election that affects. It's a swing state.
Yeah.
Long story short, it's a swing state, and there's humor. You know, hijinks ensue. There's some locals that are a lot different than what he's used to. And then, you know, his rival comes in because it becomes such an important election and becomes this just massive deal. And I'm in it.
And you're in it.
And I'm in it. Yeah. I got to work with Stevie.
That is.
In your role, what's your role?
Oh, my role? I'm not the best help that he could get from the town. He's got to hire locals.
Right.
And I'm not the most helpful fella he found, but I'm what he's got. Me and some other kids. I got to improv with him several times.
Wow.
Several scenes.
What was that
Talking with Steve.
What is that like?
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I was a little freaked out.
Yeah, of course.
I was a little freaked out, but I tried to stay in there and keep it cool.
I mean, meeting people like Clint Eastwood, working with Kathy Bates, Steve Carell, at this point in your career, like in a personal level, are you a little freaked out? Are you excited? I mean, people are saying he's like, primed for this massive breakout. Your IMDb credits are just stacking up. No pressure.
I mean, I'm not really feeling the pressure, to be honest. I usually don't freak out too much when I meet celebrities. You know, I've seen them before when I work, but
But it's not about them, it's about you, though.
Steve Carell did freak me out.
Yeah,
Meeting Steve Carell and having improv with him was freaking me out.
Yeah.
That
I
happened.
imagine.
But most of it, I was pretty cool the rest of the time. I'm pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have
I'm
a feeling. I mean, we saw the glasses. Yours.
Yeah.
Very Elton John like. Yes. So when you were doing the improv with Steve Carell, talk to me a little bit about that for a second. Like, what do you think? I mean, clearly we all see him and we realize he's spectacular. But what was it that made him spectacular, particularly with the improv? I mean, what do you think it is? Is he just that he's so quick?
He's a really hard worker. I mean, he had a lot of dialogue, and he's the star. And it's not easy dialogue. It's thick lines with a lot of syllables.
Yeah, right.
And he was constantly hammering out, and even through all the hard work and the studying, he was constantly focused. But the second that it was on, he was with us, and he was coming up with funny thing after funny thing after funny thing.
Yeah.
He was spontaneous. He was getting physical. It was just, I don't know where he comes up with it.
Yeah.
He's just amazing.
When you're not working, what do you like to do?
What do
It's
I
like
like
not
to
working.
do?
Yeah.
This not working thing.
I mean,
you know, chilling with the homies. I picked up the theremin.
picked up the theremin.
The theremin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it just looked cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know? I mean, I feel like I can either be the 1,470,625 guy to play the guitar, or it can be the second guy in town who plays the theremin. And now suddenly I'm the best guy around.
Very small pond.
No competition.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see why you're successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very
Absolutely
strategically.
incredible. Well, please tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
Oh, well, my PR guy told me I had to make an Instagram, so you can follow me at Christian Adam from TV, all lowercase, one word, on Instagram. I started posting over there just now.
Incredible.
Yes.
So yeah, get on that.
Fantastic.
Get on that and be sure to catch him in theaters nationwide this December 14th in Richard Jewell. Stay tuned. We'll be right back tomorrow on EverTalk Live.
Can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Even a first date, I think it's a really good idea. Like, hey, I'm really into feet. I do think when it comes to fetishes like that, maybe that helps people match up, because the foot licker and the person who likes their feet licked are going to be a good match.
And they might not mind that thing so much, but if you just come out and be like, yo, I like to lick feet, that
Maybe it's a person that really likes their feet licked.
yeah. So this guy's going, hey, I want to lick your feet.
If it's a person looking for a serious relationship and they just really like feet, hey baby, I saw that open-toed picture of you and like your feet look really lovely.
Yeah.
Be prepared for a response if the other person is not into it when you say you want to lick their feet. How far does that go for you? Are you on foot fetish sites every day and you don't go to work because you're so consumed in it? Foot fetish is actually like a common way. So something like a foot fetish, a lot of times it's a more submissive man. Get away, I like your feet. Maybe not the way to go.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. We are here in Los Angeles with this man coming all the way from New York. Thanks for being here this morning. Bilal Alaji is in the house, best-selling author. And, you know, I'm so inspired by what you've got here. This Ain't My Life.
That's right. That's right.
Tell me about this book.
This book here was written about my personal journey, about coming out of vulnerability. I think the context here for men is that they go through things so silently, so quietly. And when they're going through all of this turmoil in their lives, because they don't speak about it, it translates into bigger problems. And those bigger problems end up becoming travesties and families and in their own personal spaces. So that was the real premise for writing the book. But then there was another premise for helping others find hope in the things that they find dark in their own space. So This Ain't My Life is like a mantra. We say it so that if you're going through anything that you don't want in your life, you say, this ain't my life.
What were you going through personally that you realized?
Oh, what didn't I go through?
I need to.
Yeah.
What didn't I go through? Failed marriages, shelter system, court system. I mean, it was a plethora of a lot of things. And it was all because of poor decision making and also that lack of being able to have a mentor and a guide. I got pushed down the wrong path by my father and early on in life. And that path pushed me into an area of my life I didn't want to be in. And I had to find my way out. And I chose to be positive about that. I chose to take everything that was going on and I chose to look deeper in and find all the goodness, the silver lining, so to say, and find that way to come out of that rabbit hole. And in there, I found a lot of jewels. I found a lot of things to give me more life purpose and more goal-driven opportunities. And so I said, no, more people need to have that. That's not just for me. So I chose to speak about it and write about it in a way to transform other lives.
Love that. Yeah, one of the things I noticed right away about you is that you've got such great energy and it's amazing light. It just comes, like emanating from you. And, I want you to describe a little bit what it means when you say this ain't my life. Because I think a lot of people going through what you've gone through, they'd say, well, this is my life. What do you mean? This is definitely my life. But you're saying something really profound,
Absolutely.
very goal and purpose driven here.
Absolutely. So the very last line of the book that I write, the very last phrase is, if the reality you see is not what you desire it to be, then simply proclaim, this ain't my life.
Woo!
Yeah.
Preach.
That's the very last line of the book. That sums it up. That's my elevator pitch. So that's what I meant by, what do you mean by this ain't your life? There are things that happen to you in your life. There are things that, whether it's a life lesson or whether it's something you were to take with you on your journey, but you have a goal, you have a foresight that you want for yourself. If that goal does not, if your reality is not matching up with your goal, then it's not where you're supposed to be.
Well, when you started rewriting the story of your life, what steps did you first take initially?
Good question.
The very first step is to be able, as they say in AA meetings, you got to own it. You have to own it. You have to stop blaming everyone else. You have to stop blaming society. You have to stop blaming your ex-partners. You have to get out there and just take ownership of yourself, take ownership of your life. When you and I talk about all this in the book, when you decide to say, no, this is me, this is what I want, this is the journey that I want to be on, that's when you decide to start that shift. And that shift is a transformational shift. Because I talk about, in one of the chapters, I talk about, it's called Triple Darkness. And Triple Darkness talks about when you're in such a dark space in your life that you can't see any light. You're just surrounded by darkness. How do you come out of that? You come out of that by changing the way you think. And then you begin to see little glimpses of light. And that light leads you into your new transformation. But that's a process. And that process leads you to your new self.
Were there any people or practices that were like extraordinarily or especially influential in sort of helping you to think in this much more intentional and focused way?
Absolutely. So spirituality, of course. Spirituality using like more of a metaphysics type of approach, but spirituality 100%. My background, I come from, I was raised as a Muslim, and a lot of the religious dogma that I was raised with is what led me down an arduous path. So I had to do some things in my own life to look at what it was in balance with myself and society and where I wanted to go to kind of formulate a new plan for myself. And when I was able to align everything, that's when I began to blossom. I began to see this wonderful transformation. And like I said, spirituality is the key. The key. You gotta be able to look within yourself to find yourself. Give yourself that voice.
Yes. And you're not just an author.
Right.
You do a few other
Well,
things.
right. So I started out as a musician. I started out as a rap artist. That was how my voice came about. I would use my voice and I would use it in an artistic way. And so I merged the music and the book together. I talk about that journey. I talk about all the things I went through in the music industry, dealing with a lot of other artists, you know, who are well-named artists, talk about my journey with them, performing at the Nets Arena, the Apollo, and all those different things like that. So taking that and moving it more so into a personal journey, because, you know, as an artist, you don't always talk about everything so personal, but this here becomes very personal. It becomes very intimate. Intimate in a way that, just to give you an example, there was a person, I have a friend who knows someone who's, they was on suicide watch in prison. They were gonna kill themselves. They had lost their they had lost their wife, their child, and their house. They were recommended to read this book. And from reading this book, they got that new light back. They said, this ain't my life. And they began to start that transformational, you know, journey to start seeing things different, start understanding how they can make better choices, better decisions, looking within themselves, saying that it's not over. You can lose a lot of things, but it's not over. You know, you just have to redefine what it is that you're looking for and what it is you want.
Well, thank you for being such a shining example of that, Bilal. Please tell everyone they can find and follow your journey and, of course, get your book and read it.
Absolutely. So you can find me on the web, www.bilalalaji.com. I'm on Twitter, @AlajiBilal. I'm on Facebook, Bilal Alaji, you know.
All the things.
I'm all over the place. And mind you, there's an audio book if you don't want to necessarily, you know, you don't want to read, you want to just listen and hear it. You know, I narrate the book, so you get to hear all the emotions and characters. No excuses. Exactly.
This ain't
no
for
excuses.
Get this book. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Thank you.
The stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve.
With over 145 awards, these two filmmakers are primed and ready for the 2020 Academy Awards. Congratulations on the massive success of this film.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, if you could share with us the inspiration for 9 Steps.
Start?
Yeah.
Me? Okay. Our inspiration, well, we have a script for a feature film project, also called 9 Steps, and we needed to make a short film just as a kind of sample for this feature film project. So we took several stories that we had, and then we just write this script and we make the short film. Our inspiration, the main character of the short film is afraid of darkness. When I was a child, I was also afraid of darkness. Still, as an adult,
I can understand why.
Afraid of darkness, and our main character has to cross a long corridor. I'm also afraid of long corridors in darkness. So this is the part of my inspiration for the short film. You want to add something?
I think that at the end, most of our short films, they talk about family and about education. So you can watch the short film just as a kind of a horror movie or a thriller, but it talks about education, because the father is trying to press his child to cross the corridor, and there is a final twist which changes everything. So at the end, it's not exactly a horror movie. It's, you know, at the end, people is laughing.
So I wonder, for each of you, what do you love most about this film? What do you love most about it?
In my opinion, the main actor, the child, because it was really difficult for us to find the correct child, and I love it. I mean, it's great. It's
perfect
I love
casting.
him. Yeah.
I love the screenings, you know, and I love to hide between the audience just to feel their emotions when they are afraid, when they love, when they are like, the tension. That's what I love the most of this short film.
What if each of you learned about fear? Because I think you made a great point, you know, most of my life I think I've spent in fear. It's stress and anxiety, and you're always afraid of something, it seems like. What if each of you learned, both in terms of being professionals in the entertainment business, but also as individuals, what have you discovered about being fearless or overcoming fear?
I think that fear is necessary because it's part of life, but it depends on the quantity. I mean, you need to be alert to improve yourself. But if fear is an obsession and it sucks you or it blocks you, it's a kind of sickness. So it
you
depends.
can't be living in fear all of your life. And in this case, in the short film, the father tries her child just to be a brave man. Because he doesn't want the children living in fear, but I think he is wrong. You must be, like he said, little fear, but just to overcome it.
Yes. Kind of look fear in the face.
Yeah.
Where can audiences watch 9 Steps? Is it available for anyone to see?
Not by the moment.
Not by the moment,
No.
but probably in 1 month, it will be in some platforms.
Mhm. By the moment, they just can watch the trailer
On-
and make their story.
Yes, exactly in your head.
I mean, you can watch it on the festivals.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's the next festival?
We still don't know. I mean, you know, it's,
140.
yeah. In 2 days, in 2
yeah.
days, this weekend it has won 3 awards in Italy, and it's supposed that we should be there, but we sent to them a video. Okay, we are in LA, we cannot go there. So
Thank you.
I mean, it's almost every week.
We are supposed to be in Venice on Saturday, but I think we will go to Venice Beach just to take
Yes, good call. I like that call. So where can everybody find more information about the film, and where can they stay updated on where it will be available?
We have a web page. It's called 9stepsfilm.com, and there is also our personal web page that is mmfilmmakers.com, and in social media also.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you so much. Good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Where can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV. EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Welcome back to EverTalk Live here on Thursday.
Thorough Thursday.
Thursday,
as
Jazz,
Rob Mack
incredible.
says. What an incredible show. Okay, I have to admit, Trisha Helfer, the original #6 of
Right?
Battlestar Galactica, that was pretty cool. And I'm so proud of her. I mean, she has chosen to play such strong females.
Absolutely, and she's ageless. It's
Ageless.
incredible.
First woman to play Dracula. How cool is that?
Really cool, really. Dracula was actually one of the characters as a child that I always felt actually fearful of. Like, there's something about Dracula, right? So it's such a strong character.
Such a strong character.
For sure.
So is Aaron Woolf.
Oh my
I gotta admit,
gosh.
you know, I first met Aaron at Craig's
Yeah.
where we were last night, and he was telling me about this film project. And I was so moved because I myself love history.
Yes.
You might not know that.
I
about
didn't
me,
know that.
But I do love that. I love antiquities, I love temples and, you know, parishes and chapels. And I think it's so incredible for him to document what they're doing to really restore the past so we have a future with that. We don't lose the tradition.
I love that, Jazz, and I've never been a fan of history. I don't even like to look at pictures in the past. Like, we even had it 2 days ago,
Really?
I'm really strange. But I do like to learn from the past so that I won't repeat it. Like, that's been one of my big things. Like, you know, I don't mind making a mistake, but I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
So don't make the same mistake twice.
Right.
And be sure to catch our rewind or the full show on EverTalk TV on Apple TV and Roku. We will be back live tomorrow at 9 a.m.
That's right. We got a special guest tomorrow, special co-host.
That's
Check it out.
right.
We'll be
Nikki
here.
Whalen is going to be here
That's right. Have a great day.
on purpose. Happy Thursday,
Happy
Rob.
Thursday, Jazz.